5 days ago, June 7th, two terrorist attacks happened in Iran. It happened in Tehran. And they said ISIS claimed that it was them, and it was against the Iranian parliament building and the mausoleum of Ruhollah Khomeini, and 17 civilians were left dead and 43 were wounded. The shootings are the first terrorist attacks in Tehran in more than a decade, and the first major terrorist attack in the country since the 2010 Zahedan bombings. So that's weird. They just contradicted themselves in the same sentence. In more than a decade, but then they said the first major terrorist attack since the Zahedan bombings. This is Wikipedia, but there are some Nazis in Wikipedia, even though I trust them. Where are all the Iranian flags? Where is I am Iran? You know, where are all these protests? You look at how the Manchester bombing was covered, look at how the London attacks was covered, and they killed 22 people in Manchester. In the London attacks, I want to say, I don't know, 7, there's a handful. Here, 17 people were killed. So there was more people killed in this terrorist attack than the London stabbings, right? And so another fascinating aspect to this is that a lot of the officials of Iran are saying that it was Israel, the United States, and Israel, mostly Israel, right? They're saying that it's Wahhabism. They come from they were fighters, apparently, for ISIS in Iraq and Syria, but they believed in Wahhabism. The general impression that I'm getting is that they were Iranian nationals radicalized by ISIS, but they did leave and they did come back. Now, I think that's true of Omar Mateen. He wanted to fly to Saudi Arabia. Don't know if he actually got his chance. And this is the Orlando shooter, killed 50 people in a nightclub, right? Orlando shooter was completely raised here in the U.S. And so Trump is saying some stupid shit again on Twitter, where he's sitting there saying, well, if you breed terrorism, you're eventually going to be the victim of it. Is that some gangster shit? Is that because the U.S. finances shit? Because with that same thinking, then the United States created Omar Mateen. Omar Mateen was harbored and created in the U.S. So do we need to declare war on terror? American, Israeli, and Saudi governments were blamed also. So this is important, right? So I'm not going to follow the attackers real close, but it does say that they left Iran after being recruited by ISIL, participated in the terrorist group's activities in the Iraq city of Mosul and the Syrian city of Raqqa, and then it said they re-entered Iran on August 2016. So the general impression that I get is that they're, Iranian nationals who had, essentially been radicalized just like Omar Mateen did. Now, they have cracked down in Iran just like they cracked down in the United States. 41 people have been arrested, and the people that were killed, 2 guards, 10 government staffers, 5 civilians were total, killed, 17 total. There have been reports that certain talks were held with Saudi officials. So Donald Trump and the Saudi officials held, talks when he visited Riyadh in Saudi Arabia. It says that Saudi Foreign Minister Adel Al-Jubeir and the Minister of Defense Mohammed bin Salman recently threatened that they would bring insecurities and war inside Iran. We have a warmonger president. He's pushing up against North Korea. Iran was also part of that axis of evil. So is it that far-fetched to think that some sort of, collusion could have happened between the extremist elements inside the U.S. government and Saudi Arabia? Could the CIA or some other, could the CIA have brought this? I think it's possible. Until you have hard evidence, it's hard to actually. Some of them were disguised as women, and then there was brazen attacks on the Parliament building and the tomb of its revolutionary founder, the worst terrorist strike to hit the Islamic Republic in years. Iranian Foreign Minister Javad Zarif tweeted, terror-sponsoring despots threaten to bring the fight to our homeland. Proxies attack what their masters despise most, the seat of democracy. So this is a straight attack to Saudi Arabia, saying that they are despots, they're a dictatorship, which they absolutely are, and he's saying that Iran is being attacked because it's the seat of democracy. So, I don't know how the elections go in Iran, but ISIS always, I hate ISIS, fuck ISIS. We need to, kill and destroy ISIS. That is, yes, I believe that. But I also think that ISIS claims any and all terrorist attacks upon their enemies. They could get, it could be a Tim McVeigh. Hell, I think ISIS, if he had said that he had sympathies, ISIS would be like, yep, he's one of ours. We trained him.